Welcome back, everyone, to Week 11 of
Yeah.
Sportsfellas.
Here we go. It's your Who Dey hopeful, Captain Chris with a K.
Everett.
Travis.
And this is your Bronco Believing back, restored.
There you go.
Carlos in the house. And you guys, we're going to talk about College Game Day of the Week. Also, DDK, Driz and Lowe's Players of the Week, and bruh.
I don't know.
And who's hot?
And who's not?
So before we dive in, let's go ahead and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
With spring here and all the storms on their way, you need to make sure you have the proper home, auto, and all your properties insured. We here at Razor Cut Information just can't get enough of our favorite insurance man, Ernie Ruelas. Please visit Ernie and his State Farm agency at 11330 East Central Avenue, Suite 400, Wichita, Kansas, 316-682-2300. Thank you so much, Ernie.
All right, we have College Game Day of the Week. We have our state in showdown. We have the Kansas Jayhawks going against the Kansas State Wildcats. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm going to take KU in this one. I feel like this might be an upset, but I'm going to go with KU in this one. It'll be close, but yeah.
The only two teams I've really seen very much of, and it's just because all of my friends like them, like, we're completely split. It's either KU or K-State.
Sure.
I'll go with KU because even the K-State people think that KU might still win.
I'm going to go with K-State. I believe it's in the Little Big Apple, Manhattan, Kansas. Also, K-State is a pretty dang good team, and I'm not sure, is Jason Bean, the quarterback for KU, playing this week? I know he got hurt. So I think that they're on their third string. I'm not sure. Even if they're not, he was a little banged up last week. K-State's kind of rolling right now, so I'm going to go with K-State.
I'll be a Jayhawk hopeful. I'll take KU this year. I just feel that KU has played up to some predominant competition, especially beating Oklahoma, and also almost beating Texas as well. But overall, I believe Kansas got the goods here, so I'll take KU. All right, let's go ahead and dive into Week 11. We've got quite a bit of upsets and some questions. But before then, let's go ahead and dive into the Thursday night game. We have Welcome to the Jungle, Chris's team,
Who Dey?
the Cincinnati Bengals, go against those dirty birds of the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to kick it off with you, Chris. Who are you taking?
Well, as always, I will be taking my Cincinnati Bengals, the hometown heroes. This is going to be a tough one, not going to lie. I'm sure the Ravens are a little upset after last Sunday's last-second loss to the Browns. And Cincinnati, though, they're also pretty fired up. They weren't very happy about that last-second loss again to the Texans. And I don't know. I was watching that game, man. That should have been a win. Tyler Boyd, you did great, and Burrow might have got it just a little bit up, but I think that should have been a touchdown there right at the end, which would have sealed the deal with instead of giving them that chance for a last-second field goal. So hopefully they come to game. I know the defense was really upset. They kind of felt like they let the team down on that last drive. So I've just seen some stuff. They were texting Lou Anarumo right after, like, hey, we got some ideas. Now, they are kind of banged up in the defensive line area. I believe Hendrickson, I'm not sure if he's going to play this week or not. Hubbard was banged up last week. I'm not sure if he's back. So that's tough being down your big ends, especially going against a team as smash mouth as the Ravens. So I'm sticking with my Bengals, but this one's going to be tough.
I think I might go with the Ravens. The Bengals defense, they didn't play great even against like the Texans, and the Ravens have definitely a way better offense. And then the Bengals offense, they've been doing good, but it's going to be really a defensive battle and I just think the Ravens have a better defense.
I'm going to go with Cincinnati. They've been up and down somewhat throughout the year, but I'm going to take them in this one. They lost last week. I think they can bounce back this week with a short week against Baltimore.
This is a critical game, especially for the AFC North. Right now, Baltimore gave up the second half. They were dominating the first half of that game against the Browns. And the next thing you know they were just getting played out, and it just It just became down to the wire game. And Baltimore right now, Baltimore is still viewed as one of the best teams in the AFC. This is going to be a game that they're going to have to establish that again.
Sure.
And especially you got Burrow in town coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens on this one. This is going to be, have they already played each other?
Yeah, the Bengals won the first game. I believe that was the third game. It was a Monday night game. It was in Cincinnati. They won. Right now, it's a pretty interesting spread. The Baltimore Ravens are favorited, 3.5 points. So that's always, anytime in AFC North, a 3-point game is pretty practical. So,
all right. So we'll take Baltimore. Next up, we have another AFC North showdown. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going against the Dog Pound Cleveland Browns. Travis, who are you taking?
I'm going to take Pittsburgh here. Cleveland, they lost Deshaun Watson for the year with the shoulder injury. Pittsburgh defense is playing well, fighting for that AFC North spot for the top. But I think Pittsburgh's going to win this one. TJ Watt and the other linebackers are going to get at PJ Walker, I believe. So, yeah.
I'm going to take the Steelers. The defense for the Browns, both teams have amazing defenses. But I think that the Steelers' offense is definitely better with Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson both out for the year.
this is going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a battle of defenses, and in a battle of defense, I really think that it's going to be the Browns. They have the better defense, and they're actually not starting PJ Walker. He's going to be backing up a kid by the name of Thompson Robinson. So not sure. This is his second start. I'm not familiar with the guy at all, but that's who's starting. So we'll see where that goes. I think PJ Walker could always come in a pinch if he looks bad. So it'll be interesting. But I mean, the Steelers' offense doesn't have a whole lot. They don't really have an identity. So it'll be interesting. But I think that the Browns they're feeling pretty good after last week, especially defensively. I think they're going to keep rolling.
Gotta hand it to the Cleveland Browns, especially on the defense side, like you said, Chris. When you are able to contain the run, get Lamar Jackson out of his comfort zone and going after him. It seemed like Cleveland's second half, they were not intimidated no more. They were in a hostile environment in Baltimore. And now they're going against an old arch rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, which they offensively, like you said, they are not nearly a threat. George Pickens is not as congruent and steady in his plays. And also, too, I know they're getting their tight end back for a month. I think he was injured for a while, but now he's coming back. But still, offensively, they're not really a threat. It's just the defense. But I feel Cleveland's got more of that drive. So I'm going to take Cleveland in this one. Next up, we have the commitment to excellence, the Las Vegas Raiders going against Flipper, the Miami Dolphins.
Fins.
All right. I like that. Let's call them the Fins. Yeah, okay. Who are you taking, Chris?
Oh, was this in Vegas or it's in Miami? Sorry, my phone just shut down right there.
I believe
Miami, I believe.
Miami.
In Miami, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I know the Raiders are kind of a feel-good story the last couple weeks with Pierce jumping in there and pulling off a couple of wins. But those two competitions are different than where they're headed in Miami. And so I think the Dolphins are coming off a bye week. They're going to be ready and light them up.
I'm gonna take the Finns. They're definitely doing much better. They've shown what they can do against not great teams, defensively and offensively.
Yeah, I'm also going to take Miami here. They're coming off an extra long bye week after in Germany. I think that they're going to have a great passing game against the Raiders. They're going to light it up. Tyreek, Jalen Waddle should be getting back into it, but yeah, I'm going to take Miami.
This is going to be one of those affairs that it's a good story, and the thing is that the Raiders are going to have to pull all stops to get at them. So one of the things that we need to figure out is that in general, you got Miami that is just offensive nightmare. They're just going to just do what they can. But ever since that game against Kansas City, I just realized that under lower competition, they got it. But when they're going against higher competition, it's different. And the problem is you got Max Crosby that's going to be going after him. going after Tua, but the problem is that it's just one man. They're going to know already. Okay, they're going to rush up here. So let it be a great game, but I think Miami's got this. Next up, we have an NFC North affair. We have the Chicago Bears. The Bears going against Detroit Lions. All right, who are you taking, Everett?
I'm going to take the Lions. The Bears, they have so far, I think that Tyson Bagent has shown that first one that he played, I think it was beginner's luck. I think he's winless since.
They won, didn't they win Thursday?
Oh yeah, they did against the Panthers.
16-13.
Oh yeah.
Horrible. Or Monday
Still,
or whatever it was.
I still believe that it was beginner's luck. They were against the other worst team in the league. They have not been playing good all season, and the Lions are this year, I would say, a playoff team.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions. Vegas has them as 8.5-point favorites. I think they win at least by 10 on this. Personally, they're at home. They're cruising. They've just been chomping at the bit to put a beat down on a division opponent. I think it starts.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a double-digit win, like you said, Chris. I'm going to take Detroit. They're just overall way better team.
What a great game that they had last week. I mean, against the Chargers. No offense. It's just the deal is that Detroit, there's just nonstop. Jared Goff, when he gets in rhythm, everyone steps up. St. Brown, the run, Gibbs, everybody. It just seems like we're gonna see Detroit possibly host a playoff game. And like I said, how far can they go? We got to see. So let's see what's going on here. It's gonna be interesting. All right, moving on over to an AFC South showdown. We have the Tennessee Titans going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chris, who are you taking?
Yeah, good divisional game here. It's in Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's going to win this. Vegas has them favored by 7. Being a divisional game, that's a little much for my blood. I think it'd be a little closer than that. So, but I just have Jacksonville winning this one. I think they've coming off that hard loss last week to the Steelers. I think they're going to be ready for divisional opponent. But hey, the Titans are a good team. They can come at you. You can get caught any day. The Bengals found that out a few weeks ago.
I'm gonna also take the Jags. I think though Will Levis, him and Tyson Bagent, they both started the same week. Will Levis was definitely the better new rookie. And he doubled passing. He's been doing way better than Tannehill, but it's still Jags. They're just the better team. Trevor Lawrence is the better QB. Etienne's.
Those are some good points. Overall, Everett, the thing is that last week against the 49ers, the Jaguars couldn't get nothing going. They went to going against an elite defensive team that just harassed them all day, and nothing could get going. So you're going against a team that's mild-tempered in the Tennessee Titans. They're one-dimensional still. I mean, their quarterback is great. I mean, the guy's got an arm on him, and then as long as they can get their wide receivers going, we might see a close game, but I still feel Jacksonville is probably the better team. Let's go on to the Los Angeles Chargers. Go Bolts. Going against the Green Bay Packers. Travis, who are you taking?
Clearly, I got to take my Chargers. I think this one's going to be a good one. Chargers going to Lambeau. Hopefully, Herbert can have a big game against the Green Bay defense. Keenan Allen's going to go up against Jay Alexander. Herbert's going to have to find other targets besides him. Quinn Johnson and Jalen Guyton. So I'm going to take my Chargers.
I'm going to also take the Chargers. It's really mostly the defense. The Chargers' defense is easily better than the Packers' defense. We've got, honestly, probably second best D-line, and they're only against the Niners, who just got like 3. They now have just easily the best, but yeah, that's the Chargers.
I'm actually going to go with the Packers in this. Sorry, man. I know you're a big fan of the Chargers. I'm not a fan of Brandon Staley and what he's doing there. I think he's wasting a couple careers right now. I think that he's going to be following Sean McDermott at the end of the year. He's going to start probably after this week. They're going to have to start making some changes in the coordinator positions just to take some heat off the head coach. But I don't see him making it to the end of the year, honestly. I think this is going to be a big loss that probably, if it doesn't get him fired, it's going to get a coordinator fired.
They're going to have to step up and win. The Chargers cannot afford another loss. They just can't you guys on paper are a stellar team. And
when it's losing fourth quarter leads
And
almost
you can't-
every stinking week.
It's just, and it just gets to the point where you're just like, okay, what's really going on? What's really happening? I mean, and then right now, on the flip side, Justin Herbert's doing the best that he can. I don't find any faults in him.
No.
Really, I don't. I mean, Keenan Allen has stepped up since Mike Williams been gone. The rookie Johnson, he's been doing all right. He's doing what he needs to do. But Gerald Everett's been in and out with battling injuries. They cannot afford a loss. It just can't. And the problem is, you're right. You're right, Chris. If it's going to come down to this situation, someone's going to get the pink slip. So let's stay on the lookout there. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals going against the surprising Houston Texans.
Ooh, surprising
Man.
everyone.
All right, Chris, who are you taking?
I'm going to go with the Texans in this. The Cardinals did look a little bit better. Kyler was running around. He looks like he's rounding back into form. And honestly, it looks like the Cardinals are going to have a pretty tough scenario come next draft season because they're obviously going to be a high draft pick. And there's some really good quarterbacks coming out next year. So we're going to have to see. They're going to have to make a decision on Kyler. But, man, the story this year is C.J. Stroud and the Texans and DeMeco Ryans. Love DeMeco Ryans as a coach. He was an amazing coordinator in San Francisco. I knew he was going to have a big change. I didn't think it was going to be quite this fast. Stroud is just catching everyone off guard. I'm hearing MVP talk about him. I mean, goodness gracious, he's a rookie and it's MVP, not rookie of the year, but MVP, which is but he's making amazing plays. But it's in Houston. I'm going to go with the Texans on this. I think that they're really coming together and playing well for a great coach.
Welcome back to the NFL, Kyler Murray, and welcome to the new Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud is magical. He pulled out 2 fourth quarter leads, especially Tampa Bay with a quick touchdown to Tank. It's definitely the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans here. C.J. Stroud, he's been playing well. Last 2 weeks, he's had a game-winning drive against both those teams that he's played against. But I think Houston's going to take this one at home. But
What a great, well-balanced team. And really, it's not even the run game anymore. It's their air attack. C.J. Stroud spreads the ball out. When I was watching that game against Tampa, just the way how creative he was getting, creating, extending, making plays happen where you thought, no way. It's just there's no quitting this kid. And I'm glad that Houston's getting that shape up. So shout out to our friend Chuck here, big Texan fan, and all the Houston Texan fans. You guys got a great team. Adding some more addition teams, even if you don't make it this year in the playoff spot, hey, you got a promising future going forward. So, but keep capitalizing on those wins because right now you're catching a Jacksonville team and a Tennessee team that are inconsistent. So, hey, all you can do is look up. Moving on over to everyone's favorite team, America's team, them boys, the Dallas Cowboys.
Not my America.
Going against the Carolina Panthers. Travis, who you taking?
this one's obvious. You got to take the Cowboys here. Bryce Young, inconsistent. The whole team is just a mess. Cowboys are coming off of a big win against a quarterback that's living with his parents, so I'm going to take the Cowboys here.
Yeah, and the Cowboys have showed anything that they can beat up on bad teams. I got the Cowboys. I think they're going to – there's a 10.5 point spread, which is quite a bit for an away team, but they're probably going to cover that. The Cowboys are rolling pretty good for now because it's not the playoffs.
Panthers definitely wasted their number one draft pick. They got – they have – this year they were a completely different
It's only his
team.
first year.
They were a completely different team, but, they didn't do a bunch better than last year, arguably somewhat worse. They're definitely.
Well, here's the deal. From what I'm understanding about this is, Dallas, last week they put a clinic on the Giants. Okay, but that didn't work against Philly. That didn't work against the 49ers. So, to us, it's, Dallas is what? This is a team that they're beating up on that's not well equipped. And right now, Frank Reich has to figure out, how am I going to get Bryce Young to finish out the year doing right? He's got he's got veterans. He's got people that are there, but the problem is no one's gelling together. So they're really going to have to start looking into the draft, start getting rid of these veterans, try to start from this team from scratch. So I'll take Dallas. Wow.
You all right?
Oh, I'm good. It's just there's not really much more to go. Okay, let's go ahead and move on over to another NFC East showdown. We have the G-Men, the New York Giants, going against the Washington Commanders. Who are you taking, Chris?
Vegas is all in on the Commanders. They're probably a little hotter. Of course, the Giants just got pummeled last week. But honestly, it's a division game, so you know it's always going to be closer than I think people think. I think the Giants might step up. They're going to surprise someone this week. I think maybe the Giants pull this out.
Yeah, I am definitely going with the Commanders. The Giants got pummeled. They have like a third string QB in.
He lives with his parents.
Tommy DeVito, he is very, very bad. It's easily the Commanders.
I'm going to take the Commanders. I'm going to take Sam Howell over the quarterback that lives with his parents.
Yeah, I knew I'd be out on a limb on this.
Yeah, I got to take the Commanders.
It's all good. It's all good. You save money. So it's all good. This is another situation game where, offensive coordinator Benjamin, it's not the Kansas City Chiefs. He knows, oh man, what did I get myself into? But Washington is a fun team to watch. It's just that, again, I feel that they're just unbalanced. Maybe it's because Coach Rivera and the atmosphere that's in Washington is much different.
Yeah.
And then right now with the Giants, they don't really got much going on. What a weird turnaround of events last year. They were the steaming hot team, went in, got that win at Minnesota last year and fell short in Philly. But then this year it's just way different. So I'll take the Commanders on this one. Okay, we got the next game coming up. We have the Buccaneers going against the San Francisco 49ers. Who are you taking, Travis?
I'm going to take the Niners here. They got Chase Young, and then, that defensive front was just amazing last week against the Jags. I think they're going to do the same thing, get after Baker. They're going to cause him to be uncomfortable, cause him to make errors. I'm going to take the Niners.
Baker Mayfield is going to hit the turf many times with Armstead, Hargraves, Chase Young, and then Nick Bosa. They definitely one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league. They've got a pretty good offense. The only bad part about last week that they really had was the fact that Christian McCaffrey didn't get a touchdown, which since he didn't get a touchdown, he lost his streak.
Tied him.
Yeah, he tied the record, but it's definitely the Niners.
Yeah, the Niners are 11.5-point favorites. The Tampa Bay might be able to cover that spread, but I don't see them covering the game. The Niners are rolling. They had a little hiccup there, a few game hiccup, but I feel like they're back on track, and especially that pickup with Chase Young. That's huge. They also pick up someone from Gregory or something from the Broncos, right? So, I think they're ready. They're in win now mode. They're ready to roll, and it's gonna, they might have another hiccup down the road, but I don't see it being this week.
This is going to be an interesting game as well. Baker Mayfield is going to have to start trusting in the run. Let White run the ball, because the problem is that Mike Evans has been kind of battling injuries. He's only the true number one wide receiver. They're tied in. Tampa inconsistent. And you're going against a team that has finally found their mojo, and they're actually out there running in all cylinders. And then Deebo Samuel's back. And so you see a different scheme now. And I think Kyle Shanahan's happy that the pieces are coming back. So they're going to be a dangerous team going forward throughout the season. So I will take San Francisco. Moving on over to the AFC East showdown, we have the Jets.
Jets.
Going against Bills Mafia and the Buffalo Bills. All right, Chris, who are you taking?
This is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to go with the Jets. They beat them once this year, and the Bills are kind of reeling right now. They don't seem to know which way's up. They lost to the Broncos, really? On a 12-man on the field for a last-second field goal? You don't know how to count past 10 for a last-second field goal? Come on, guys. Someone has got, heads rolled. They lost a coordinator. Like I was saying with the Chargers, I think the Bills are just a step ahead of it from the front office side. I think they're just being a little more aggressive with their firing. But if Sean McDermott loses to the Jets for a second time in a row and at home, he's done. I don't see him making it to the end of the year. I really don't. So, but I'm going to go with the Jets this game. I really think they're going to step up and make it happen.
I'm going to also go with the Jets. They have Sauce Gardner on Stephon Diggs, another one of the greatest defenses in the league, one of the greatest offenses in the league, and they
Except for quarterback.
except for Zach Wilson, who's honestly stepped it up since last year. He's so much better with getting coached by Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be the Jets.
I'm going to take the Bills here. There's no way Josh Allen has 2 horrible weeks in a row. I mean, he lost to the Broncos. I mean, that's sad already. But I think Josh Allen's going to pick it up this week and fire back and get a big win at home.
We're not going to sit here and act like we're like super experts, but we know Josh Allen has regressed. That could be also too, and then the chemistry with Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs last week was shut down. He was shut down. And the thing is that, yes, you're right, Everett, and I agree with you. Sauce Gardner coming back, you know very well he's going to stick on Stephon Diggs. But here's the deal. Josh Allen, you got Gabe Davis. Your run game is not that great. You've got that kind of is he a rookie tight end? You got a rookie tight end, I think that's been
Kincaid.
Yes, so defensively, McDermott, they're going to have to figure something out because right now you're letting Miami run with the division. And also, you want that shot. They've been telling you guys, hey, you guys can compete with Kansas City. Well, you got Kansas City around the corner, and I don't think you're looking that sharp if you can't tighten down these loose ends here. So, but I will take Buffalo. I think Buffalo will beat them not because of their offense, because I feel defensively with Von Miller and gang, they're going to give Zach Wilson a hard time. All right, we have an NFC West showdown. We have the Seattle Seahawks going against the Los Angeles Rams. Who are you taking, Chris?
I'm going to go with the Rams at home. I'm not sure if Stafford's...
He's questionable.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
still questionable. But it's a divisional game. They're all going to be playing hard. I also just picked up the new lead back for the Rams on fantasy. So I'm going to go with the band. They're a 1-point underdog in Vegas. So it's kind of a pick-em game anyway. I could see Seattle taking it, but I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks. They've got Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett. They've got a connection. Plus, they've got DK Metcalf, who's one of the biggest wide receivers in the league. Mm-hmm. They've got Kenneth Walker III and running back. He's probably going to do some, but, I mean, with Aaron Donald against you on the line, he might not show much, at least in the running game. He might get some receptions, though. The only big thing is they have to lock down on Cooper Kupp. If you let Cooper Kupp get enough receptions and start getting lazy on him, one of those receptions is gonna end up in a giant touchdown.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks here. I think this one's going to be a very close game, closer than people are expecting. I think this is going to come down to a final drive or so. I think Seattle's going to win this one with the receiving core.
I agree with you, Travis. I do. Overall, Seattle, their last game they had was a close game. The Rams beat them in Seattle. So now that they've kind of gotten familiar, here's the deal. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Kemba Walker, everyone has to pull together to dissect the Rams defense. Offensively, what Everett was talking about, Cooper Kupp, the deal is Cooper Kupp is an elite wide receiver. And then you've got the other wide receiver.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah, that's just going to be a headache all day. Mm-hmm. But it's going to come down to critical mistakes, critical possessions, managing the time as well. And the thing is that Geno Smith has to get that ball rolling again, because right now, I mean, the NFC West is kind of up for grabs right now. San Francisco is kind of the big brother right now, and these guys are fighting for that spot. So we've got division and we have wild card potential spots. So I will take Seattle. We have the Sunday night game. We have Skol, Minnesota Vikings going against Mile High Denver. Yes, the Denver Broncos finally back. We're cooking. Who are you taking, Chris?
Ooh, this one's going to be good. I'm kind of hopping on the Josh Dobbs mania, man, and Vikings. And just to throw it back a little bit to the Browns, I don't know if anyone remembers, but at the beginning of training camp, Dobbs was actually on the Browns. Like, could you imagine if they had kept him? Like, if he would have been the guy backing up Watson all season? Man, that team, they might have only lost one at this point. They haven't lost many, but he's made it all the way to the Vikings. He's having some good times. Kevin O'Connell's really figured out how to use him. He's fitting into that system well. I think they're going to keep rolling. Vegas has Denver as the favorites, but I'm going to go the other way and take the Vikings.
This game is going to be good because I think I'm not going to use them this week for who's hot and who's not, but Denver, they're definitely warming up. If they can get another win this week, they will definitely be hot. They're at least warming up. But the Vikings, you've got Josh Dobbs on the other side. He's been lighting it up. He is like the second best running QB in the league under Jalen Hurts. He's really good. He's doing really well. Plus, I don't know, is KJ Osborne in?
He is, I believe. He's questionable, I think, right now.
If KJ Osborne is in, it's definitely the Vikings. I'm gonna take the Vikings, though I think they've just got the better team.
Give me the Vikings. I think this one. I think Josh Dobbs is going to take this one away. I think this one's going to be close, but I think Josh Dobbs is going to go victorious in this one Sunday night.
What a great game. I mean, shout out to our Viking fans. Chaz, shout out to you. Todd as well. Big Purple People Eaters here. It's at Denver, and right now both teams are on a hot streak. One's won 5 games in a row. The other one's won 3. And the thing is on the Minnesota side, no one's talking about their defense. Their defense has stepped up. Their teams has created some havoc, and right now, and it's making it to where the Vikings are able to lay out their offense, get the tempo going, and especially having Dobbs. Now we know that Dobbs has been the main talk right now, but look what he's doing. Like C.J. Stroud, he's creating plays. He's creating towards keeping the team in the game, and overall, they're not going away. I mean, they still have to play Detroit. So there's something that we're going to probably see. Hopefully they'll flex that game. Moving on over to the Denver side. Denver has picked up steam since they've beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. And since then, they've just been on a roll. Now, this is where we're going to have to start putting the parentheses in this. Okay, they beat Buffalo last week, but technically they should have lost. I'm just going to call it like that. Here's the why. If he would have, because he was, the field goal missed that field goal, right. If they would have not had that penalty, they would have lost.
Right.
So, yes, I'm happy we beat them on paper. We beat them there. But the thing was, we really didn't beat them, if that makes sense.
Sure.
We're going against a Minnesota team that is pretty evened out offensively, defensively. But I don't think we're going to be intimidated to play against them. I'm going to take Denver in a costly turnover that's going to give them the win. So, I'm calling it out right now. So, moving on over to the game day of the week. How can we not make this the game day of the week? This is the Super Bowl rematch. We have the Eagles fly. The Eagles, you guys. The Eagles.
Eagles? Who?
Eagles. No. Going against Chiefs Kingdom, Drizz's team. The Kansas City Chiefs. Shout out to all our Chief fans. Going to be at Arrowhead. I'm going to kick it off with you, Travis. Who are you taking?
Give me the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to get this one. They're going to get the revenge. I think Jalen Hurts is going to show Mahomes what's up in this one. I think this one will be close, but I think the Eagles are going to take this one by like a touchdown.
It's interesting. So Andy Reid is considered like the master of bye weeks. They're coming off bye weeks. He's 27-4 in 31 seasons as a head coach. Sirianni's not bad either. He's actually undefeated after bye weeks. He's only had 2. So, but I'm kind of with you on this, Travis. I think that I think there's a little bit of that revenge from the Super Bowl, and them wanting to put a stamp on the Eagles or on the Chiefs. And I think that the Chiefs just are in a bit of a, like, they're not being super consistent this year. We're seeing a lot of just un-Chief-like behavior, like losing to Denver. Which, I mean, to be fair, it didn't happen for like 8 years. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you, Travis. I think the Eagles, although they're the underdog by 2.5 points, by 2.5 points, I think that they're going to pull this out. I think the brotherly shove is going to come in, and I don't think the Chiefs, even though they've seen it, are going to be able to stop it. and I think the Eagles are going to win this by probably by a field goal or so.
One of my favorite plays, at least, like brotherly shove. One of the best things I've seen was when they faked a brotherly shove for a touchdown. It was just so fun to watch. If that comes in, like, you can't do anything against that after you've got everyone packed in. If that comes in against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs defense, let's be honest, they haven't been doing too great. They had, like, Cam Sutton, he was going off against the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs offense, they've had a few weeks in a row where they finally started stepping it up. The Chiefs, their bye week is what really matters. If they can capitalize on the bye week, even though they're against one of the best teams, they'll win. But I think it's going to be the Eagles.
Everett, you said some strong points, but you got some points that I kind of disagree with. The Chiefs' defense is actually doing better. They've done better than their offense. But we're going to get to a scenario here where Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devon Smith, D. Swift, they're all going to be coming in. I mean, D. Swift's the only one that was not part of that Super Bowl team. But the deal is that I don't think the corners are going to be able to hold A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And then also, too, Jalen Hurts. I mean, as long as Chris Jones and them can go after him, it's going to be a scoring affair. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be fun, entertaining. And but what's going to matter the most is who is going to keep the ball longer. Who's going to be able to, instead of capitalizing in field goals, produce touchdowns. Because remember, to beat Mahomes, you don't beat him with field goals. You got to beat him with touchdowns. And you got to make sure that he makes mistakes where you putting the defense out there more than the offense. It's going to be a close affair. I'm going to take Philadelphia in a touchdown. All right, that wraps up Week 11. Let's go ahead and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, why don't you check out She Barber Cuts Barbershop and give Markeisha Brown, the licensed professional barber there, a call at 316-218-3566 for all your haircut needs. She's got cuts for kids, adults, and for those looking for the good one, the deluxe with beard trims, wash, and hot towels. So don't forget to give Markeisha a call at She Barber Cuts and see her at 2319 North Ridge, Barber Suite 6A here in Wichita, Kansas.
All right, we have the DDK fantasy football lineup. Chris, who should you put this week in your fantasy football lineup?
Well, who I picked up, I mentioned earlier, I picked up the guy, his last name's Henderson. I'm trying to pull it up. It's D. Henderson.
Daryl Henderson.
Yeah, he's stepping in as the lead back right now for the Rams. So I have picked him up to add to bolster my running back lineup. That's my recommendation.
I think I'm gonna go with, I don't know, Christian McCaffrey is just one of the best overall. He's almost got a touchdown guaranteed for. He's got probably at least 100 plus yards, so that's 10-ish points a game, plus usually a touchdown.
Yeah, for this week, I got Trey McBride, tight end for Arizona. I mean, he's been balling out all season long for the last few weeks, so he's another big key free agent pickup. And then if you have Cowboys defense, I mean, that's a must start.
I'm going to nominate two. I mean, I have to do this. Travis Kelce. If you have Travis Kelce, it's a start because they will light up. Because Philadelphia gives up a lot of touches to the tight ends, and you know already that's going to be their focus. Their focus is to try to lock down Travis Kelce, but then that opens up the lane for Pacheco and Rice or Hardman or whoever's going to step up. But here's the deal. Travis Kelce's going to have a good game. But if Taylor Swift's not there, we're going to have problems. And also, on the other end, hands down, I would this week, I would put my trust in Derrick Henry in the Titans. I think Derrick Henry is going to he's going to have a bounce back week. Last week, he could get nothing going. But he's going against a Jags defense that has shown already like they can be ran on. So I would take Derrick Henry on the offense side. Okay, let's move on over to I don't know. Travis, who do you nominate?
For this week, I got Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi's performance against the Colts in Germany. I mean, it was just a horrible scene to watch. They only scored 6 points. Both quarterbacks had a horrible interception where it just went straight to the defender. No guiding nearby.
I got to go with the Bills on the last second field goal. Like 12 men on the field. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
I'm gonna go just overall this week. How many games was it that ended in like there were so many games this week that ended in just last second field goals. It was like 7 or 8, just like 5 like last second quick field goals to win.
This is a tough one. I was going to go for the Bills, but I'm just going to say the Giants. It's just they got nothing going on. You made Dallas look really good. Now Dallas, we're hearing it for everybody. We're Super Bowl bound. I'm like, oh, okay. So come on, you guys. Come on, New York. You guys got to do better than that. You guys, through the years, have always given Dallas a little bit of a hard time here and there, but come on, just really. Okay, coming on to one of our favorite shows. Who's hot?
Who's not?
All right, I'm going to kick it off with you, Everett. Who's hot?
The Texans.
Okay. That's you. That's all you
That's
got.
all. The Texans.
Oh, it's my turn now. Who's hot? I'm going to say the Browns.
I'm going to go with the Lions.
Wow, those are all great teams. I'm going to hand it to the Minnesota Vikings. That's a hot team right now. They found confidence right now. They are ready to go. We were first, no Jay Jettas, no Kirk Cousins. We thought, okay, this team's done for. But no, they're quietly making these games happen. I would go for Denver right now, but right now a lot of eyes are on Denver on what they're doing. But Minnesota has been quiet. And right now they're playing the quiet storm. And like I said, they beat Denver. If they beat Denver, that's going to help. Even though it's not, I wouldn't say like a stellar win, but still, the game around the corner they're going to have to be worried about is Detroit, and then going on the remainder of the season. So that concludes, you guys, Week 11. We will have another Sportsfellas show this weekend because we're taking off for the holidays there. So before we shout out, any shout outs before we go? I'm sorry.
Just the crew and everyone listening. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, shout out to you guys for being here. It's awesome to talk football.
Yeah, shout out to you guys.
And I'd like to give a shout out to our crew and behind the scenes. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Also, stay tuned to more shows coming up. We have Wichita Vice coming back. We have Anime Somniac that's about to post as well. We have Silver Cosmo movie reviews. We're going to go over the Marvels and give our take on how we felt about that movie. And I'll give you a hint. It wasn't that great. All right. That will stay tuned. So thanks for coming in, you guys. And we look forward to talking to you guys in the next episode.